For some analysis, let's turn to Jeffrey Swartz. He's a law professor at Cooley Law School and joins me from Tampa, Florida. Professor, I think the question a lot of people are asking is, does Donald Trump, does any U.S. president have the legal authority to do what he has done, fire a Fed governor?
It would seem under the case law that they don't. In the matter involving some other boards, in particular the National Labor Relations Board earlier this year, the court determined that the National Labor Relations Board was not on a level with the Fed, that the Fed carries a different kind of independence and a different kind of import in the history and or the future of the country. So therefore, that bottom line is there. It was part of the decision-making power that was done then, and I think they'll pretty much stick with it now.
So Lisa Cook says she's not going anywhere. Trump says she's already been fired. So what happens next?
I doubt seriously that Mr. Trump is going to send marshals into the Fed to escort her out or security of any kind. He could, but it wouldn't really bode well for him if he did. So I think he's going to just fight it out in court. She'll be filing her suit within the next couple of days. And at that point, I think that the judge is probably going to enter a temporary injunction to prevent that from happening until the court makes a determination on the merits of the case.
And if the dismissal stands, what does it mean for the independence of the Federal Reserve? I mean, isn't it supposed to be shielded from politics?
Yeah, it is. And in fact, that was one of the reasons why the court in the prior case, the National Labor Relations Board case, made a point of saying that this is a board that Congress intended to be independent. It was part of the legislative history. It's part of the statute. It's not really supposed to be controlled by the president. He can fire someone within the executive branch for cause. I've taken a look at the documents in this case. I don't think there's any cause, and certainly I think that the governor in question has a legitimate defense to the claim. And this is just some power politics coming out of an appointee from the president in the Federal Housing Board. And
I think, Jeffrey, another concern a lot of people have is if this dismissal stands, what kind of precedent, I should say, does it set for presidential power? What happens, you know, the Federal Reserve today, what about another independent agency tomorrow?
I will tell you that if, in fact, this got upheld in any way, shape, or form, he would go after the chairman of the Fed and he would try to get rid of him now just as a power play. It also changes the balance on the board of directors or the governors of the Federal Reserve and could amount to being the kind of drastic interest rate drops that we have seen that he's asking for, that really at this point, according to the Fed chair, is not really called for yet.
And a lot of Americans might be saying to themselves, why does it matter? Why should we care? Jeffrey, explain why they should care about this.
This is just one more step, in my opinion. It's one more step to go with everything we've seen over the last few weeks, where Mr. Trump is trying to expand his power over the federal government to the extent that he has absolute power. This is a terrible precedent to set. Some things have to be taken away from the executive in the context of what he can and cannot do. And I think this is one of those ones because the kind of policy that is federal monetary policy should have nothing to do with governing as it relates to the kind of things that the federal government is supposed to provide to the people.
All right, Jeffrey Swartz, thank you.